Hi guys, it's Thomas here, and today I'm here once again with another Drytron video. Today I'm going to show you what Drytron can do after he gets handtrapped twice, and in this video we're going to talk about Nibiru and Droll when paired with another handtrap. We're going to start with a hand with 3 cards that has alpha, zeta and nu2. We're going to start by activating alpha, discarding zeta and summoning alpha to add the new ritual, and zeta is going to discard the nu2 to summon herself and add the Maternist Drytron from deck to hand. Now we are going to activate nu2 since we have Drytron names on board to summon him, and his effect to add a Drytron name. And we're going to add Ursatron. Now we're just going to use nu2 and alpha to exist summon a Fafnir, and here we're going to be met with a veiler on Fafnir. This leaves us to special summon our Ursatron from hand and activate the effect to add a Fafnir from deck to hand. Activate then Fafnir to add a spell trap in Nova, and lastly activate Nova to summon from deck a Gamma. Here we're going to activate Maternist Drytron to ritual summon our big monster from hand. Our opponent is going to use Nibiru to get rid of all our machine so that we don't have the fodder to ritual summon. And the Maternist Fizzle. We're going to activate Gamma in graveyard, discarding our ritual to summon itself and bring back from the graveyard Alpha with it. Activate Maternist, making Gamma lose 1000 attack to add itself back to hand. Overlay with both into a second copy of Mubeta, and using Maternist once again to use our Xyz with both his material to ritual summon draconids from the graveyard. We have quite a few names in the graveyard to activate this effect, and this is the combo. In the second combo of the video, we're still working with the same cards, alpha, zeta and nu2. We're going to alpha by discarding zeta to summon himself and add the big ritual from deck to hand. Next, zeta from graveyard by discarding the ritual to summon herself and add a Maternist. Now we can special summon nu2, and with his effect on summon, we're going to add from deck to hand Ursatron once again. We're going to special summon Ursatron as summon number 4 and add Fafnir to our hand. And now activate Maternist Drytron, sending Alpha, Zeta and Ursatron to summon the ritual. Activate Fafnir and add Nova. Now, to note, if our opponent was to activate Nibiru and try to negate the monster with Veiler, we would be able to negate both with the 3 names we have in the graveyard. Activate Nova to summon from the deck a Gamma, and activate Maternist, reducing nu2 to add itself back to hand. Overlay with both into a Fafnir, and use Fafnir to send a Delta from deck to graveyard. Delta is going to tribute the rank 1 to summon itself, reveal Maternist and draw a card. Gamma tribute Delta to summon itself and bring back nu2. Overlay both into a second Fafnir. This was done just to get a draw of Delta, of course, and to put another name in the graveyard. We're still ending, even if we got to negate both handtraps, with a Fafnir, a Delta, in the graveyard, spell negate on board. For the third combo, we're going to activate Alpha, discard Zeta to summon itself, add the big ritual, activate Zeta from the graveyard by discarding Nu2 from hand and summon it to add a Metronis. Now Nu2 is going to activate in the graveyard to summon itself, and with its effect on board, we're going to add the other Drytron ritual monster in Drytron Metronis Draconids. We're going to Xyz summon using Alpha and Nu2 into Mubeta. Mubeta is going to get veilered, but we can still ritual summon using the Zeta on board and the Draconids from hand to summon the Alpha Draconids. Your opponent here is going to activate Nibiru, but we can banish the other ritual from the graveyard to negate it. We still can activate Metronis to add itself back, and we have a name in the graveyard, and once we negate with Fafnir, we get the second name to have the second negate. In the fourth combo, we're going to open Alpha, Nova, and Nu2. We're going to activate Nova to summon from the deck Zeta, and Alpha is going to tribute Zeta to summon itself and add the ritual. Now we're going to activate Zeta by discarding Nu2, summon itself, and add Metronis. Here, of course, the Nova could have also summoned a Alpha if Zeta was in your hand. It doesn't really make any difference for this. We're going to activate from the graveyard Nu2 to summon itself, and with its effect on summon, we're going to add from deck a Gamma. Now we're going to Xyz summon using Alpha and Nu2 into a Fafnir, and send a Delta, activate Metronis, and now our opponent, even if they didn't negate Fafnir, they're still going to be able to get rid of the body with the rest of our boards. We get a token and Metronis fizzles. Activate Delta from graveyard by discarding Gamma, reveal the ritual to draw a card, and Metronis to reduce Delta to go back to hand. Gamma, discarding the ritual to summon itself and summon another name, and while we could Xyz summon here, we would need to send it all to the graveyard. It's not like we would get a spell negate. Don't look at this name in hand, this was a draw, and so we can activate Metronis like this, and we also end up not getting handtrapped by a veiler or a imperm on the Mubeta. Now I'm going to show you what a Drytron deck can do if it gets drolled and veilered in the same combo. For the first combo, we're going to have a Alpha, a Gamma, and a Nu2. We're going to activate Alpha in hand by sending a Gamma, summon him, and add the ritual monster. Our opponent is going to draw us here. Next, we're going to activate Gamma by discarding Nu2 to summon Gamma and Nu2 back, link summon with Gamma and Nu2 into a Masquerena, and now summon Nu2 with its own effect. Xyz summon with Nu2 and Alpha into a Mubeta Fafnir, and try to use the effect on summon. We get met with an effect veiler, unfortunately. Now we have a Masquerena with a Mubeta Fafnir that are going to summon a Little Knight during our opponent's turn for interaction, and we have a draconid in hand that is going to be discarded next turn to be able to use our Drytron name. For the second combo, we are going to keep the same hand and try to do the things a little different this time. We're still going to activate alpha, discard gamma to add the ritual monster, and we're still going to get drolled here. But we're going to link summon alpha into anima, then we're going to activate gamma to discard Nu2, special summon gamma and special summon alpha. Nu2 effect to summon himself, and link summon anima and alpha into a little knight. We can banish that droll, exist summon Mubeta Fafnir, and activate the effect to send. Now, our opponent could chain Veiler, but to assure the send we would just activate Little Knight to banish. But what our opponent can do is, when we add back the ritual spell, when we go to activate it, they can Veiler, so we don't have enough material, and we are going to Little Knight just to raise the attack of Mubeta to 2000. During the end phase, we're going to get both back. For this combo, we are going to need draconids, a zeta, a alpha, and a gamma. Let's start by activating zeta and discarding alpha to special summon itself and adding Maternist Drytron. We're going to get drolled, of course. Next, we're going to activate alpha by discarding gamma to special summon it and overlay into a Mubeta Fafnir. Activate his effect, and here, this is the only way, unless we already drew it, to send draconids. So our opponent is going to veiler us here, and we're going to activate gamma, sending the Xyz to special summon itself, because we need another name to special summon, and Xyz summon another Mubeta and activate Maternus to ritual summon the draconids from our hand. Let's add back the ritual spell, and this is the end of this combo. Now, for the last combo of the video, I'm going to show you a 5-card combo in draconids, zeta, Nu2, alpha, delta. We're going to activate zeta to discard alpha and summon herself, add Maternus, and get drolled. Activate from the graveyard alpha by discarding Nu2 to summon itself, and special summon Nu2. Overlay Nu2 and alpha into a Fafnir. Fafnir is going to get veilered, and activate delta in hand by discarding the ritual monster to special summon itself and overlay into another copy of Mubeta Fafnir. Maternus, detach all material from Fafnir and send himself to the graveyard to summon draconids. Activate Maternus to put it back into the hand, and we have 2 negate of draconids, since we have 3 Drytron in the graveyard, 4 when we detach to negate a spell trap with this Fafnir, that during next turn will get the spell trap negation effect.